Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
This is a stream where we're going to cover Paradox's big announcement stream. Paradox are really hyping this up, and our job is to hype it back down.
Yeah, keep it real.
We can immediately rule out any new grand strategy games because they said that. They've just said no new grand strategy games, so I'm going to lose even more viewers because it's even less interesting now. But, like...
What about Cities Skylines 2, though?
Well,
It's
maybe...
been a long time that they've been talking
Maybe,
about
but
that.
I'm probably not, because they're just going to do more DLC for it. Why make a new game when you can milk it for years?
Yeah, that's a good point. I can't imagine what it could be then.
It's going to be Europa Universalis 4 DLC and Crusader Kings 3 DLC. CK3, like you just said, well, we only have about 1 minute till they start, so I need to blurt out something about this quickly. I just played it on Friday and we had a wee campaign, and I didn't... The second session was terrible. Wait, what happened to the timer? Did the timer just go back a minute?
Cheeky bastards.
What? Chat, did you see? Chat, what happened there?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I went up 45 seconds.
They just added to it. Oh my god, we're not ready yet. Bump another minute on the timer. Anyway, well, I guess they were giving me more time to make my point about CK3 before they start. Yeah, it's pretty bland. It lacks content. The tweet I did was a direct comparison between the amount of DLC and patches that they had released for CK2 in the same period of time after release, which is about 3 years. CK2 had like 7 or 8 DLC that came along with patches. Crusader Kings had 1 DLC, which is Royal Courts, and a bunch of flavour crap. That's it. So today they're announcing a DLC for CK3, and I'm predicting that. It's pretty obvious that is what's happening.
Yeah, I think that's the sad thing, and this is definitely, you know, the problem with Victoria.
I'm sorry
3
to interrupt
as well.
you there, but the timer just stopped on 1 minute for like 5 seconds. What is going on with this timer? They can't even do a timer right.
Time of DLC. No,
I'm
I was
sorry,
saying
carry
that, I was saying that it's the same problem with Victoria 3, which is they're a bigger company now. They're reaching more people, and a lot of these people haven't played the previous installments of these games. Like most people who have bought Victoria 3 probably haven't played Victoria 2 or CK3 and CK2. And so when you play, like maybe if I was a person coming into CK3, you know, as a complete person who's, oh my god, this is stressing me out, 9, 8, 7. Anyway, my point is that
Happy New Year!
Yeah, happy
Oh, they're
New
going
Year.
straight into a trailer, mate. Hold on. What's this? Okay. The one thing I'll say just briefly on CK3 is that yes, it's bland. You were saying it was a beautiful game, which is true to an extent. The two main things I don't like about how CK3 looks... Oh, this is a live show. Oh. Okay, let's just be quiet.
This is the Paradox Interactive announcement show. We're gonna take you on an epic journey through our game universes. A show packed with the biggest news across the board. This show is for you.
It's definitely not for me. That's why we're doing this coverage. I'm literally here to give a show for the people this show is not for.
It's for me?
Lineup of games loose. We're gonna unleash another natural force upon you. The CEO of Paradox Interactive.
Oh my
Frederick
god, the
Weston.
CEO? This intro music.
Here we go. One proud Bavarian's about to walk out. Prepare yourself.
No. Very serious.
Are they playing Don't
So,
You
first and foremost,
Forget
welcome
About
to
Me?
your- We're super happy to show this to you today, and I think we've all had a secret at once that we've been dying to tell the world, but we just haven't been able to. Maybe we've been prevented by the rules of the stock exchange, or maybe you've had a project that just
What?
hasn't
The rules of the
reached
stock
stage.
exchange?
But you're not here to hear me talk, obviously. You're here to watch the games. So let's just move on to it. And
Well,
here's
I
the
actually
first-
quite would like to hear the CEO of Paradox talk, to be honest. That's quite interesting. Anyway, what's this? Oh, this is like some indie game thing. Very interesting, like he's wearing the casual CEO garb. He's not wearing a suit, he's wearing trainers and jeans and a shirt. Interesting how people go for the modern, hip CEO look.
Yeah, with the frantic eye contact and the mention of the stock market as well. Very, you know, modern.
The stock market joke there was strange. Like he was making a tangent about how people keep secrets, and he said something about the rules of the stock exchange prevent me from telling secrets. What's this?
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
It's a weird joke.
I think one of my favorite things about the gameplay is that combinatory factor. Is finding
Combinatory? What kind of
combinations
word is that?
I don't know what that means. I don't know how you'd even begin to spell that word.
I mean, I can probably spell it, but it's not a combinatory.
Relating to a combination or arrangement of different substances or elements. Combinatory.
Yeah, sure. It's a real word. If someone put that on a Scrabble board, I would have been like, no, that's not a word, and then they would have got the dictionary and really beaten me there. That sounds like a fucking 50-pointer.
This game actually looks kind of cool, to be honest.
Thanks for watching. And now back to you in the studio.
Yeah, it's not Paradox developing it, so maybe it is, eh?
The Lamplighters League is a thing, and it's coming out this year.
So the thing about Paradox publishing other companies' games is Paradox applies the DLC model onto other games. For example, Cities Skylines. Okay, what's this? This isn't Crusader Kings, but it's similar.
Nah, it would be Crusader Kings.
This is another like game announcement for something different. This is like different artwork. This is different, surely. And they would have built it up more if it's the CK3 DLC. This is something else. I'm guaranteeing it. I know them. I know Paradox. Fuck! That was different! It had complete different artwork and everything.
Tours and tournaments.
Now, I'm going to defend myself on this.
Yeah, no, it's spoken for itself. You know.
They didn't build that up at all.
Seems like you're really giving the role players out there what they want.
There's no way that was never not going to
This
be.
expansion is
Crusader
full
Kings
of
3.
things for the role players. You can take your entourage and
All
set
my
out
credibility is
roles
gone. Alright, what's this? Have they already moved on? When they did the Victoria 3 announcement stream, they announced several smaller things before they built up to their main announcement. You'd assume that this CK3 DLC thing would be like a main announcement, so I thought they were going to build up to it with many different things. For example, that XCOM sort of game that we just had. That's why I was taken off guard by that. And then this CK3 thing seemed to have a completely different art style from anything in CK3 I've seen before. So that's why I was taken off guard by that, if I can just start to claw back my reputation.
What's this?
This is the sort of shit they should have been putting out to build up to the CK3 DLC. That's what it is. Someone in the chat also says this should have been the CK3 DLC. Yeah. Oh, audience. Woo!
Just like that. That was intense.
I'm in there.
Lots of exciting games to look forward to.
This guy seems like some sort of gonzo journalist. Hunter S. Thompson type.
We have a bunch of news and updates for our games, so don't go anywhere. And you remember, we promised you something big from Cities Skylines, and it's coming soon. But I can see that Fred is back, and I bet it's for an important reason. Over to you, Fred.
Hey, it's CEO Fred.
So we've been asked questions of what our studio in Berkeley, Paradox Tectonic, has been up to.
He's been standing there the whole
Happy to tell
time.
you that it's a new game, but not only that, it's also a new genre to Paradox.
He's been standing there in a dominant corporate pose for the last 20 minutes.
That we can
Yeah,
explore and take
with
further.
the light turned off, just in the shade like Darth
Not
Vader.
only, we're going to tell you a lot more about this game going
So this is a new game actually developed by a Paradox studio in a different genre. So this is weird. What's going on here? They're making The Sims?
It's over.
Okay, sure. Go make that.
Live by
Yeah.
you.
Okay, what's this? Okay, sure, this is EU4 DLC, right? Can I get this prediction right?
Victoria 3 DLC.
No, it's not, because there was war. This is Cities Skylines 2. Imagine if it is and I got that wrong again. There you go. It's Domination. They're finally adding the Call of Duty game type Domination to
Straight into the
EU4.
action with that trailer. Sonia,
You're
Come
hoping
on
you
up
never sell a
here.
search and destroy.
Tell us about this expansion.
Well, this
Team
expansion is
deathmatch.
the newest what European Universal is for, and it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be deep and global.
She is literally who?
France, Britain, the Ottomans.
That's her job title.
China, Russia,
Who?
Japan.
By the way, I will say overall, the fact that this is a massive Paradox announcement show with their CEO there, and there's nothing about Victoria 3, which is their most recently released game, that is fucking flatlining in the player count on Steam, unless of course they surprise us and do announce something with
That's
it.
a good point. This is the
Oh wait,
game that I played.
oh my god, is this? Oh no, they fucking again! They actually have something for it. Okay, we know about this though. We know this already. This is stuff they've already announced. This is nothing new, chat. Already been there and done this. Oh, it's the cities thing. We got this is
a birthday
big.
gift just for you, and I'm gonna hand it over to Fred and Marina, who are gonna deliver it straight to you.
Thank you, Paula. Fred here, and I'm back. And this time, joining me is CEO of Colossal Order, Marina Hallikainen. Welcome.
two
Thank you so much, Fred.
CEOs.
I am so happy to be here.
What are you
And
laughing
we have
at?
been working together for the longest of
Fred
time.
here,
right?
and I'm
We
back.
have. I still remember that demo you sent over to us in 2009, I think it was. So time flies, huh?
It definitely does. And that demo did set something in motion, right?
It did, for sure. You could say that, yeah. And Cities
What,
is
are they-
turning 8 this Friday,
like,
actually. So
are they to get what? I don't know. I don't know.
And is there
Wait, are
anything
they?
you want to add on top of that?
No, I'm talking
Absolutely.
shit.
I think we should have.
Well, I don't know. I thought that was the joke they were referring to
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
It started
it's
something, you know.
Happy birthday, Cities
It's like an Apple ad.
Ligayang kaarawan, Cities Skylines.
No, it's one of these things where they get loads of people to make a little video.
Skylines, a happy birthday.
Are you on the
Thanks.
spot?
Cities Skylines.
Yeah. I like City Skylines, by the way. I haven't played it for a while,
Me
though.
too. It's a great game.
They put two CEOs together and they made the most corporate trailer thing you've ever seen.
100,000 assets and mods created
That
for
was
the
an
games
awful
since we
trailer.
started.
Exactly. And think about it 5.5 million new players last year. That's basically the
The
population of
clapping
England.
beat, yeah.
It's
Oh,
amazing. And
that could have been for Google. That could have been a Google
Apple
trailer.
Watch ad, yeah.
Could have been an Apple Watch.
This is no exception. Do you have any secrets you want to share today?
Definitely. I have been
Oh,
waiting for
the
a few years
gossip.
to share this secret with all of you. So basically, I think for us, isn't it time to take the next step forward?
Oh, here
I
we go.
most
City
definitely
City
think-
Skylines 2.
Okay.
The next step forward. That's got to be. Somber music.
Imagine if they add war to City Skylines 2, but not Vic 3.
This city has a story.
Just reminds me of the dystopian things they're building in real life, like that fucking line in Saudi Arabia. You know that one?
Oh, yes, I know that. That is freaky.
City Skylines 2,
Explore and
the
pursue.
line edition. You can build the Saudi Arabian line. But no, you're just building a generic American
Oh,
city.
someone in the chat. Suicide Net DLC. That's funny.
Oh.
That's really, really fucked up. That's funny.
Oh,
You are the visionary.
please clap.
It's official.
Let's go.
On the social channels. Come on, everyone.
They're on their feet. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes.
Now it's time to celebrate. Thank you for sharing this moment.
What is this? What are they
Like
doing?
Ellen thing. I think we gotta start dancing.
This is so strange. What are they doing? Nothing against them though. Nothing. They can do what they want, but it's just strange. That's all. And that's the whole. That's the whole thing. I think that's it done.
What a fever dream. Am I still sleeping, Spud? Have I
yeah,
woken up
you-
and come to stream with you? Or
Have
is
I
this just sort
gone
of-
back to sleep?
Yeah. Just tossing and turning. I tell you what, though, Knights of Pen and Paper 3, that game looks cool. It might not be your cup of tea, but I love that shit. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, nothing, no problem. Go ahead. At least they've given me the perfect background music now. This is their music. It's like bossa nova, and it's gone. Oh well, I don't even.
What
Okay,
what a
well,
bizarre-
that's that. That's offline. Look, offline. That's like a
Strange.
35-minute fever dream. What was
Yeah.
that?
Now, to check how good their marketing is, Spud, repeat every trailer that happened. Try and name as many things sequentially as you can.
Why don't you try and do that while I get some background music on?
Because
We
it's
can-
6:30 in the morning, and I don't even. I'm trying to remember your names. That was bizarre. It was so quick in and
Yeah.
out. It really was like a fever dream.
Why
What
did
else
they
was
have
there?
a random party at the end?
That was strange.
What are they
The whole
celebrating?
thing was strange, and why did they have a live audience of presumably their own employees?
I'm just trying to take that in as well. What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And then-
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
don't you hate it when people pretend like they're thinking and coming up with what they're saying in like some sort of corporate press conference when they're also at the same time clearly reading off a teleprompter? I always find that to be the most jarring levels of awkward. It was quick too. The CEO had his car running in the car park. It was like we were,
Yeah. I've got to get
Yeah.
back to trading our stocks.
Yeah, he's having some stock issues and secrets that he can't tell us about. Chernobyl, you can just hear the car running in the back of the stream, ready to go at the moment's notice.
Yeah. They have a development studio, a Paradox development studio making a Sims game. Ethan is saying in the chat right now that it's a good thing from a business point of view because EA has a monopoly on that. Now, if someone could please do that to Paradox, that would be great. If Paradox is going into a market, the Sims game market, then what reason would anyone have to play the Paradox's version over the Sims? And that's what they need to justify in order to get anywhere with that. I'm sure they'll come with something, but there was nothing in that little trailer that started to show why anyone should get that game over the Sims
No,
right
it doesn't look. There's nothing particularly extraordinary.
now. Just
about
looked
it.
exactly the same.
Yeah, someone in the chat. I'd like to keep this show going, but the stock market won't allow me. That's fine.
Because the stocks would just go down the more they talked.
Yeah, exactly. Just plummeting.
Maybe there should have been this like a certain camera angle where, as Frederick was talking, there was someone like backstage, like the Chinese representative from Tencent, looking on menacingly. You better get this all right.
Yeah, like somebody in the audience on their default iPhone stocks app, just watching the Paradox stock plummet.
Or as everyone got up to do the party at the end, one guy remained seated, and it was the Tencent guy. The Chinese Tencent man just sitting sternly looking at them, shaking his head.
Some of those jokes that he came up with weren't landing at all. Like, I don't even, like. It's not even like they weren't funny, but like, what was he even trying to say? I can't disclose things because secrets.
Maybe they needed to rehearse that more. The actual host of it was completely fine, I think. No,
I agree. I
problem.
think she did a good job.
The rest seemed a little bit unprepared, maybe, and a little bit like the whole thing was written poorly. We're going to call the stream in a few minutes, but still wondering what was all that. They managed to convince me to make a stream covering that, and I'm wondering what the hell was that.
Yeah. Maybe that was the whole thing. They've just played a joke on you. They've
They caused me to take a couple of L's in my predictions for what was coming up.
yeah.
I was going off of the Victoria 3 announcement where they built up to it by announcing smaller things, gradually increasing. They had their indie games, they had their Prison Architect DLC, then they had a Hoi 4 DLC, and then they had something else, Stellaris thing, and then the big announcement.
I tell you what, Spud, think about this for a second. Like, we were joking about the CEO standing in the dark for ages, but he would have, because the stream was so short, that he would have just been standing in the dark for like, in front of the live audience for like, while all the trailers play. For like a good 10, 15 minutes. What a bizarre, being there would be, like as a fly on the wall, like being there in person. I think that'd be a genuinely fascinating place to be.
What is going on?
Paradox have bamboozled us.
Just destroying my mind.
Yeah,
I was going to say
discombobulated.
something. Oh yeah, I first saw them starting to hype up this announcement stream, and I first had it in my mind. Oh my god, this is going to be EU5, right? I had that sort of expectation. It's going to be EU5, but then they just outright stated there's no new GSG, no new Grand Strategy game. I was like, oh, it's just DLC then. And then they bamboozled me further with what they actually announced and all that, and the way they ordered it on the stream.
My predictions were pretty decent. I think as soon as the stream started, I said Cities Skylines too.
But I was expecting the DLCs to be big announcements where they talked about what's actually in the DLC. at length. They did this whole show just to show trailers, when they could just, you know, release the trailer, like a trailer, and not do a show in front of a live audience to release a trailer. Ethan makes an interesting point, which was about how the fan base is diverse and that there's fans of grand strategy games and they're different from fans of Cities Skylines card, and there's so many different things, which is kind of weird. They should have just done something for Cities Skylines on its own to attract the Cities Skylines audience. But they're trying to bring a lot of different people together here.
Yes, that's a good point. Wow. Okay. Well, I feel like I've been punched in the face. This was a strange thing to watch, and a hard thing to talk about. I mean, like we were just saying, you know, commenting on what Ethan just said, it's just so all over the place that, you know, it's hard to, and there's very little information as usual for their announcements. There's nothing really to comment on apart from, you know, not actual gameplay. That was a cool, you know, FMV that we just watched, you know.
They used to be a company that just made grand strategy games, and now they're everywhere. They're all over the place. They're now actively developing a Sims game. They're going into a market. They're developing a game that is actively there to compete with a company that has a monopoly on a market. Like I said, can someone do that to them, please?
That would be nice. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Spud, and thank you, chat. That was, you know, that was an experience. That was strange to watch that, but yeah, enjoyed that. The party at the end. I mean, like, things are just flashing through my head, you know what I mean? Where it's just like trying to make sense of images that are in my memory now.
That's something you actually probably need to watch again.
Yes.
It's like Twin Peaks. Like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yes, with David Lynch.
The CEO of Paradox Interactive, Frederick Wester.
So first and foremost, welcome to you all who's logged in from across the globe. We're super happy to show this to you today, and I think we've all had a secret at once that we've been dying to tell the world, but we just haven't been able to. Maybe we've been prevented by the rules of the stock exchange, or maybe you've had a project that just hasn't reached the state where you feel comfortable enough to show it to the world. We know exactly what you feel like. Fred here, and I'm back, and this time joining me is CEO of Colossal Order, Marina Hallikainen. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Fred. I am so happy to be here. And we have been working together for the longest of times, right?
We have. I still remember that demo you sent over to us in 2009, I think it was. So time flies, huh?
It definitely does. And that demo did set something in motion, right?
It did, for sure. You could say that, yeah. And Cities is turning 8 this Friday, actually, so happy birthday to Cities Skylines. We came here, I told everyone early on that we were going to spill a lot of secrets today, and this is no exception. Do you have any secrets you want to share today?
Definitely. I have been waiting for a few years to share this secret with all of you. So basically, I think for us, isn't it time to take the next step forward?
I most definitely think so.
Anyway, see you guys later.
Thanks so much for being on, Piechucker, especially getting up that early.
No worries. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. See you later. Bye.